Inside Michigan Football is presented by Meijer.
Keeping that jug, that just means so much, guys. That means so much, and we avoided them tearing down the goalposts. You know, that's just huge. And every single guy, we go back and flick on this tape, every single guy in here played good. And young guys, we Camp Brandt, guys, man, everybody playing good.
Hi again, friends, and welcome to another edition of Inside Michigan Football. The Wolverines travel to Minneapolis and come away with a big-time win to improve to 6-0 at the midway point of the season, John.
Yeah, 52-10. I mean, you go on the road and your best two performances are at Nebraska, at Minnesota. Now, this wasn't a threatening environment, but Nebraska could have been, and this team early on in the game has taken the crowd out of it.
Well, and let's show exactly how they did that as we take a look at the first big play of the game with Jansen Vision.
Yeah, and as I want to watch here, this is Will Johnson right here. And you can see it's cover two, so you've got a high safety. Will Johnson knows that he's going to have safety help over the top. And in knowing that, as this play starts rolling, again, you could just see Will Johnson up here, and you've got your linebacker help inside. Will Johnson, all of a sudden, is going to read the quarterback, knowing that this receiver back here is covered up by this safety that was back here. He's just going to step in front of this ball, baited the quarterback into making that throw, and it's an easy pick six because there is no one in front of him at that point. And you even got Mason Graham. We're going to talk a lot about him out there making a block.
All right, so the Wolverines actually, after that touchdown, forced a punt and start a drive of their own, and Blake Corum with some good running here for 10 yards.
Yeah, Blake Corum, whether he's running guys over, making guys miss, or hard yards from the line of scrimmage, he is the all-around do-everything back.
Wolverines go for it on 4th and 1, and they throw to Khalil Mullings out of the backfield.
And here, Khalil Mullings got stopped the play before, which we think is a rarity, and it is. And then all of a sudden, when you have running backs, all three of them in the backfield that can catch the ball, it's just another weapon for this offense.
Wolverines then get 20 yards on this pass from JJ to CJ. Cornelius Johnson, 20 yards. And then on this play, JJ rolls out, points right, and then throws back left to tight end AJ Barnum.
Did a great job of going through all his progressions. I think AJ was probably the fourth one on that one. Protection was there, and the ability of JJ to recognize, hey, everyone else is covered. I can outlet to my tight end.
Minnesota down 10-0. They get some good running from Zach Evans, the redshirt freshman running back, cuts back against the grain, picks up some good yards.
Yeah, he's a physical runner, a guy that would set up runs, be patient, come back. You don't see that a lot of times from a young player.
All right, but the Gophers drive stalled, and we go to Jansen Vision to show why.
And this is some of the adjustments that Michigan made is they took their defensive end and lined them up head up of where that tight end would be. That's one thing that led to Michigan being very effective against the run. But then I want you to watch Mason Graham, who is the three technique right here. He's going to swim inside the left guard, and he's going to beat the center. And the penetration and the ability and quickness of Mason Graham, you see him in the backfield there, he gets there at about the same time the quarterback hands the ball off. Mason Graham is a huge reason why Michigan was able to, but that's that penetration of being able to stop the run.
Minnesota kicked a field goal. It was 10-3. Then JJ over the middle here to Cornelius Johnson again. Big day for Cornelius.
It was, and it was great to see him get more involved in the passing game. We've been talking about Roman Wilson so much. Today was CJ.
Minnesota held, Michigan had to punt, but Minnesota terrible field position. Wolverines defense comes up with a couple of plays. First, Will Johnson on the run support, and then Mike Barrett and Chris Jenkins forcing a Minnesota punt and giving Michigan great field position. And that's where we go to Jansen Vision again for a big run from Blake Corum.
Yeah, and I want you to watch. They pull both guards on this play. So you're going to have one guard, which is Trevor Keegan. He's going to pull, and he's going to kick out. Then you've got Zach Zinner pulling from that right guard spot. He's going to come up, and he's going to square up on this linebacker. And then the best part will come at the end. But the ability of Zach Zinner, as he's coming around, you can see him identify that linebacker. His head, eyes are looking right at him. This is an NFL offensive lineman right there, being able to face up on a linebacker and beat him one-on-one, and then all of a sudden, who's this guy? That's Carson Barnhart. He wasn't even on that side of the play. He's hustling downfield, and I want you to watch the block that he gets right there. An unbelievable job. If not, Blake Corum is tackled at the 40. Instead, he goes all the way down to the 20-yard line, and that is exactly what you've got to see from your entire offensive line, is that hustle.
The Wolverines then get it down, knocking on the door on this reverse to Roman Wilson, and Michigan gets it 3rd and goal from the 1. Blake Corum takes it in for his 10th touchdown of the season, and Michigan led it 17-3. All right, ensuing possession, a 3rd and long for Minnesota, and Josiah Stewart gets the sack.
Yeah, Josiah Stewart, this was going to be a big test for him. Minnesota's offensive line was big. They're gigantic. And he has continually, whether it was at Coastal Carolina, now at Michigan, has proven all of the critics wrong, that he's too small. He's able to be very effective.
Donovan Edwards now on 2nd and long, catches a pass over the middle and makes a linebacker look silly.
Yeah, when you get Donovan one-on-one with the linebacker in space, he's going to make those guys miss. And, I mean, it didn't even touch him.
Ron Bellamy told me, Michigan wide receiver coach told me before the game, he expected a big game from Cornelius Johnson, and here JJ finds him for 49 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, when you, as a coach, you know going into a game, there's certain matchups, certain guys that you know are going to be one-on-one or find different things. Going into the game, it's not surprising.
And then JJ scores on the keeper to give Michigan a 24-3 lead. Minnesota late first half, they get some good running from that guy Evans again.
Yeah, again, physical style runner, aggressive style runner, sets himself up for success.
Kenneth Grant with a stop here on 3rd and 1, but Minnesota converted on a 4th down. The first 2 4th down conversions Michigan's defense has allowed this year, and that sets up Ethan Kaliakmanis, their quarterback, 35 yards to the end zone with 6 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, we were talking about how we didn't think PJ Fleck was doing a good job of managing the clock, and it ended up not mattering. And this is something you don't see. Good coverage by Mikey Samerson, maybe a step behind, nothing in terms of safety help, but it was a great pass and probably an even better catch.
So the Wolverines led it at the break, 24-10. We'll have second half highlights and go into a happy Michigan locker room later here on Inside Michigan Football.
It's a road game. You know, we came with that mindset, make a statement game. All of our road games are statement games to us, so that's just what we came in the mindset with that.
Just from today in the walkthrough in the hotel, it was just efficient and clean and crisp, and just to be able to take that from practice to the walkthroughs to out to the field on game day, it's just amazing.
Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2023 Michigan football season and proud supporter of thousands of local sports teams across the Midwest. And back to pass again, fires far sideline, it's picked off. Will Johnson, look at this.
Yeah, I said just faith. I mean, I was waiting on the opportunity to come. Ball came out to me. Saw the number 2 come out, just tried to bait the quarterback into it, and it worked out perfectly. Yeah, I mean, we all play as a team, so offense feeds off the defense, defense feeds off the offense. So I think it definitely helped our momentum. And I mean, offense scored some great touchdowns to help us too, so we all just play off each other.
Michigan led 24-10. It was a close ball game, and Minnesota got a 3-and-out to start the second half. But when the Gophers got the ball, Braden McGregor, second straight week, gets a pass breakup at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, I tell you what, he does a great job of getting in the passing lanes. And when he puts his arms up, he's tall, he's long, and he's got a big paw. Being able to bat passes is one of his superpowers.
So 3rd and long, and we go to Jansen Vision again.
Yeah, and I want you to watch this one. This is Jalen Harrell. He lines up at the linebacker spot. We don't normally see that, but his goal is he's coming in here, and he's going to try and pick off and hit the right hip of that left offensive tackle. This is Derek Moore. All he's going to do is roll around, and the goal is that he's able to come free and put pressure on the passer. However, the quarterback this time decides that he's going to try and break out there. Derek Moore, he's in that rushing lane and is able to come up with a big play and a big stop and force Minnesota to punt.
So the Wolverines get it back. Here's a big play, 3rd and 7, and JJ finds Roman Wilson for 17 yards.
Yeah, the connection between those guys. He feels so comfortable finding Roman Wilson at any point in the game.
And here he is again to Roman Wilson, this one for 34 yards. Now, here's a 3rd and 4, and the Wolverines go to the short yardage back, Khalil Mullings, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, I mean, he's the battering ram. He's the guy. There's no secret when he comes into the game and it's 3rd and short, what's going to happen.
And then the Wolverines on 2nd and goal from the 7. JJ goes around right end for the touchdown. It was 31-10. We pick it up after a Minnesota punt. Donovan Edwards, another play over the middle for 7 yards here.
Yeah, and here's what I liked about Donovan. He recognized he had some space, but he was surrounded by Gophers. So he puts his head down and says, I'm going to pick up as much as I can, and just gain as much yardage as possible.
3rd and 1, the big back Khalil Mullings, they need a yard, they get a yard, and that sets up this as we go back to Jansen Vision.
Yeah, and I want you to watch is JJ right now. He's pointing this way, and the reason he's doing that is because this defender right here, he's not on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's not covering a receiver. He's just in the middle of no man's land, and there's no reason he's there. So since he's not covering anybody, you got to anticipate, hey, he's going to be coming. So the offensive line says, you know what, we're going to kick out. We're going to pick him up here. Trevor Keegan, he's going to pick up the defensive end. Center, you're going to stay on the nose, and then Khalil Mullings is going to come over here and pick up a blitzing linebacker. As this play starts to go, it's exactly what these guys do, and it's great communication. You got block, and the big one here is by Khalil Mullings. It's not easy to step up and block a linebacker like that, but it allows JJ just enough time to be able to get the ball off and find Colston Loveland for a touchdown. That is communication. It's about JJ being able to operate this offense at an extremely high level.
38-10, the score after that touchdown. And it got worse for Minnesota. Keon Sabb on the ensuing possession goes high, plucks this one out of the sky, and takes it back.
Yeah, Keon Sabb did a great job of almost showing a blitz, kind of getting stuck in, like I just talked about that no man's land. He was there, and the quarterback just didn't see him and threw it right to him.
Talk about halftime adjustments. Michigan hasn't allowed a third quarter point all season. 126 yards to 7 in Michigan's favor in the third quarter. Let's go to the fourth quarter, and here's Khalil Mullings again. Some good, hard running for the linebacker turned running back.
Yeah, I mean, his balance, and Jason and I talked about this during the broadcast, he has tremendous footwork. And earlier in the week, we talked about with Khalil Mullings, how has that linebacker experience helped you in the running game? And I think you see it pay off every single week.
Here's a 3rd and 17. Jack Tuttle's in the game, and he picks up 18 yards. And how about the wide receivers downfield with some blocking?
And that's what, hey, no block, no rock. And you get a 3rd and 17, and now all of a sudden, hey, Jack Tuttle breaks through there, and immediately you're thinking, hey, scramble drill. Well, they see that he's past the line of scrimmage, so it becomes a block drill. They do a great job of allowing him the opportunity to pick up that first.
And that sets up Leon Franklin for the short touchdown run. Michigan's lead was 52-10. Minnesota actually got their first down of the second half, midway through the fourth quarter, but Rayshawn Benny with a couple of good plays on the Michigan defensive line.
Rayshawn Benny has really come on this year, and he's added to that depth and that talent on that defensive line.
And the Wolverines would run it out from there, 52-10. The final, Michigan improves to 6-0 on the year. The Wolverines have won 31 of their last 34 games, win number 995 in program history. We go into the locker room and hear from the head coach next here on Inside Michigan Football.
Ultimate team win. I mean, we started off fast. That momentum helped us tremendously on offense especially, but just shows testament to, you know, all the work we put in the offseason, all the work we put in through the week. Like, we came here to finish games, and on the road, it doesn't matter who we're playing, where we're playing, we're going to get it done.
Our conversation with the coach is brought to you by Meijer.
6-0, congratulations.
Thank you, bowl eligible. Feels good.
It does feel good. 2 of them on the road, and the 2 most dominant performances have been on the road. What makes this team so good away from Ann Arbor?
Just played good, and really started with the pick 6 by Will Johnson. Great job reading the quarterback, catching the ball, finishing the play. Great to see Keon Sabb get 1-2. I thought it was a heck of a play by him. J.J. McCarthy was incredible. Total control. I mean, 70% passing, 220, 30, something like that, and some change. But in total control, and a really good performance.
An aggressive runner, too. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. But it's when I was watching JJ throughout the course of the game, you mentioned in total control, his ability to communicate with the offensive line and pick up blitzes, identify those, and then get the ball out. To me, it just seems like he's really in a great rhythm.
Yeah, great rhythm, control, really all facets of the game. The runs he made, I mean, those are big time play. One was a stiff arm, and really, really, really good the way he's playing. And point to every guy, really. I mean, the twos went in, special teams played really good. Defense aggressive, young defensive guys getting a chance to step up. It always kind of feels like around game 5, 6, definitely 7, sometimes 8 or 9, but that's when those freshmen really start, they're getting comfortable and contributing, and it's good to see.
In the first quarter, Minnesota was able to gain a little bit on the ground, but then after that, it was like it became non-existent. What were some of the changes? What were some of the shifts that you guys made defensively?
Yeah, we just moved our end into a 6 technique. That helped, but they were hurting us on the stretch play and made those adjustments. Through the air, I think we might have had more return yardage than. I don't know, but it was good.
But the defense actually did outscore them.
It was a great game defensively. It's the most points we've given up, but really, I thought it was a real gem by our defense and our defensive coaches and Jesse and the whole group.
Yeah, well, if 10 points is the most you've given up, that's pretty good, especially when your defense outscores them by themselves. Right. Mason Graham, back today, had the club on his hand, and throughout the game was absolutely dominant.
He was great game by him. He missed football. He missed playing those 2 games, and yeah, even with the club, he was a very dominant player tonight. This game was a lot won during the week again. It was just one of those incredible weeks of practice, and we'll go back to work, and that seems to be the formula. Put the game plan in, practice it, and then go out and execute it.
Coach, congratulations, and we appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Takes the snap. Looking downfield. Triggers. Intercepted. Going the other direction. 20, 10, touchdown. Keon Sabb.
It felt really good. Coach put me in a really good position, and the ball ended up just coming straight to me, so just got to take the ones they give you.
Our El Rose Steel Man of the Week is defensive lineman Mason Graham. The sophomore from Cali was a wrecking ball. He disrupted Minnesota's powerful run game all night long. He picked up a team-leading 6 tackles, including his first sack of the season.
Yeah, it was special. Jay set it up for me, so it was a good little setup. But we've been practicing that throughout all of camp, all of season, so just waiting for it to happen.
Turns and hands it to Evans, who's met in the backfield and dropped right there.
Throughout the game, I just know that I'm ready to go. I got that motor going, just keep making plays. I've been out for 2 weeks or whatever, so I've just been hungry to get back out in the field with my boys.
Mason and the boys held Minnesota to 169 total yards. And those 2 pick sixes by Will Johnson and Keon Sabb, the first time the Wolverines have had 2 in a game since 2017 against Cincinnati. For Inside Michigan Football, I'm Ed Kingerski.
When we continue on Inside Michigan Football, we see John Jansen in his element at a steakhouse. Next, here on Inside Michigan Football.
There's been so much blood, sweat, and tears into that trophy, and all the generations that came before us that won that thing and kept it in Ann Arbor, that was for them. It was for all the past guys wearing the winged helmet and past coaches coaching for us. So, yeah, it was great.
Back on Inside Michigan Football, and Friday night before the game, we got to go out to dinner at the 801 Chop House in downtown Minneapolis. Where does this place rank in your Big Ten restaurant tour?
It would be, this is the first time there, and it would be probably top 3 or 4. I'd have to return, which I am excited about doing sometime in the future, to make sure that their standards always live up to it. But it was a great steak. It was perfectly cooked, and I couldn't expect anything more.
He looked so happy. The scalps.
I was, yes. But it was the pork belly that really started things off right.
All right, next week, Indiana, Michigan looking to get one more win before the bye.
Yeah, and this is an Indiana team that it's not your typical Indiana team. They don't have Michael Penix or even Jack Tuttle. He's on our team right now. They don't have that dominant quarterback, or at least a playmaker at quarterback. They've struggled offensively and defensively as well. So it'll be interesting to see what type of game plan Tom Allen puts together to come to Ann Arbor.
And we'll be back next week for a look back at the Wolverines and the Hoosiers here on Inside Michigan Football. So long.
1, 2, you know what to do.
Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2023 Michigan football season and proud supporter of thousands of local sports teams across the Midwest.